What's up? It is your Chic Mortgage Millennial coming to you with a video about some mortgage things. So I am here in my office and this is the third video in a row. Third video in 3 weeks. Give me some credit here. I'm being a little bit more consistent. So I'm very excited because this week I am celebrating. You know how you just pick a month and you just like, hey, we're about to celebrate. The year is almost over. I haven't celebrated this all year, but I want to celebrate. So I have been doing mortgages for 11 years. Selling mortgages for 11 long years. And when I saw that 11/11 was on a Friday, I was like, I need to celebrate on 11/11. So, 11/11 is all about manifestation and all of that fun stuff. So I'm excited. At first I was in a funk because I was like, should I celebrate? Should I not? And then, death has just been all around us. Like, people have been dying left and right. So I was like, should I even celebrate? But I'm celebrating. So I'm excited about that. I'm having a party this weekend celebrating 11 years in the mortgage industry. And I wanted to come to you all and let you all know 11 things that I love about doing mortgages. I can name 11 things that I don't like, but we're going to be positive because the whole manifestation, 11/11/11/11/11, I'm going to tell y'all 11 things that I love about doing mortgages. So I wrote them down. I'm just going to, if you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my list. But they're not in any particular order. So here we go. So the first thing that I love about doing mortgages is if you have your license, you have access to financial programs, you have access to a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of information. And if you have your license, you can look at matrix, you can look at guidelines, you can look at the ins and outs of what it takes in order to get a loan approved. So that is something that I love doing. I love exploring. I love taking a look to see what programs are available. A lot of times people will put you in a box and just be like, oh, FHA, conventional, VA, USDA. But there are so many different programs out there, and if you just take the time to see what are the guidelines that you have access to, you have inside access to. You might not know where to find it, but you just have access to so much information. So that's basically an encyclopedia. I'm about to close this because it seems like my computer is loud. But it's like an encyclopedia of information. Anytime I go to a new lender, I'm always like, hey, where can I find the matrix? Where can I find the guidelines? Because I have my license. That's my right. That's my cheat code. And then when others come to me asking about a program, just throughout this 11-year period, I have had to teach myself that, basically you could do anything. I could do anything. But you have to know how to get that loan approved because you don't want to try a new program and the loan doesn't close, right? But if you're taking a look at the guidelines, making sure that you're structuring a deal, everyone has to try something new one time. And what I found is that if I actually do the work and look at the guidelines, structure the loan accordingly, it'll get approved. So just having that access is something that I really love about doing mortgages. So that's the first thing. So the second thing that I love, and this is kind of like my nerd life, I love the continuous education. I do have my master's. I have my MBA in Human Resources Leadership. Now, what am I doing? I'm a manager, right? So I am using it. I am able to use those HR skills that I learned. And of course, those business skills, I had to take finance classes, all of that fun stuff. And then for my undergrad, HBCU, shout out to Savannah State University. But I love education. I love educating myself. I've taken so many different tests, so many different exams. I have so many different licenses added to my name, and it's just, I even have a bartending license. Literally, y'all, I went to bartending school probably I don't know, I was in my early 20s, but still doing mortgages on the side. And I'm like, let me see. Do I want to bartend by day and, be professional? No, bartend by night and be professional by day. And it didn't last long. But I felt that, like, bartending is good because I can just serve drinks. And I went to get my bartending license, or I went to bartending school. I love learning, y'all. Learn how to make all these different types of drinks. That's why every time somebody, if we're at the shindig, they're always like, Allison, make me a drink, because I am good at making drinks. But I just like getting certificates and just things under my belt. So being that the mortgage industry is always changing, and I have my real estate license as well, I love sitting in, those seminars and sitting in even the online Zooms that we're having now instead of the face-to-face. I love learning. So just having that opportunity to where I'm not having to constantly think, oh, what's something new to learn? What's something new to learn? The way that things are changing, you have to constantly educate yourself. So that just kind of satisfies that nerd bug in me, is that I'm constantly learning new things. So that's the second thing that I love about doing mortgages. The third thing is helping those who have been denied. Now, that's something that I love because over time, when I realized that, I was young and I'm still young compared to like people who are my peers. But when it came to like the easy loans, people weren't giving me the easy loans. Like, people were giving me the loans where it's like, hey, this person couldn't do it. See if you could work something out. See if you can make something shake. So early on in my career, I kind of found out that, hey, if I'm going to want to make money, I got to figure out how to make this work. I got to figure out how to make this loan work, because it's a privilege that they came to me. And at the same time, while I don't want to be that rescue deal girl, I, in many cases, was able to figure out the missing puzzle, figure out the missing link to get that loan closed. So when you're helping somebody and they've already been denied by somebody else, they're under contract, and now you're looking at it and you're like, I know how to make that work. They do everything that you tell them to do. Like, for the most part, people will listen when they're getting a mortgage, but there's a different type of loyalty or leaning on your entire world being that somebody has if they're under contract and they've been denied. Because think about it, they don't know if it could really happen. Even if I'm confident, they're like, oh yeah, I know this loan is gonna close. They're just hoping and praying, wishing and hoping they're gonna get to the closing table. So when they actually do, it's almost like, bruh, I owe you my whole life. And it just feels really good knowing that, I'm the one that made that happen. I'm the captain now. So I love helping people who have been denied previously. Number 4, we're in a fact-based business. This helps me because, yeah, I do have to do politicking, and I do have to, there's still politicking and everything, but it's a fact-based business. So when it comes to someone doing something because they like you or doing something because of the relationship, when it comes to mortgages, everything is fact-based. So if I go and structure this file accordingly and the underwriter is like, hey, we need this. If there is a guideline that says, actually, we don't need that, we don't need to count that, they cannot like me all they want to, but they can't deny that loan. They have to approve that loan because we're in a fact-based business. There are times like where you may have to challenge the underwriter, or you may have to dive into those guidelines and see what can be done, especially when it comes to clearing a condition and maybe an underwriter's like, hey, we need a spaceship. And you're like, I know my borrower doesn't have a spaceship. So with experience, you'll either ask and say, is there anything else that you'll accept outside of a spaceship? Are you saying that a spaceship is the only thing that we can give? Can we give a spaceship or a car or an airplane? Or what does the guideline say? Does it say just spaceship? I'm that girl. Like, so I will go to the guidelines, and most of the time there's options. Like, nothing is all or one when it comes to mortgages. Most of the time. And I would rather know my options versus just saying, no, we need this. It's like, no, we need this or this. Even if it's something that I can't get, let me know the options, or let me take a look to see what the options are, because a lot of times underwriters, they might just ask for what they feel or what they know can clear this condition. And if it's just one option, what are the other options? You know, it's a fact-based business. Everything is in fine print. It's not a situation where the underwriter they do have access to like more information, but if you do the digging, you can see everything that they could see. So that's what I love. And if they are saying something, like, they'll have to screenshot the guideline and screenshot all of it. You know, don't give me the paragraph that fits yours. Can you show me where you see that? It's a fact-based business. So if it's something that I have to eat, I don't know everything, but I'm happy that everything is in black and white, which in most cases protects the buyers, because people just can't say what they feel, or they can't give their opinion. At the end of the day, the guidelines speak, and these are federal guidelines. Now, it's many, many, many pages, so we're not going to know everything, but it's a fact-based business. So if I say something, I can stand on it. If an underwriter says something, they can stand on it, but at least if we have a disagreement, it's how we interpret those words. It's a fact-based business. Also, when you're working with realtors and you're telling them something, or you're telling them that you need something, or if, you know, they're giving you any pushback, 9 times out of 10, depending on your level of comfort, you're not making up what is needed. You're telling them, hey, I need this in order to get this loan closed. So if you want to close it, you're going to either help me, help you, help your client, or let me know what you all decide. If you want to terminate the contract, I'm gonna let me know what you decide. Fact-based. So that's what I love, because I ain't trying to argue with you about who's right, who's wrong. 9 times out of 10, the lender is right. We're just trying to figure out a way to assist you and get the documents that we need in order to clear whatever condition. Fact-based business, not opinion-based. Number 5, I love building relationships with my partners. I'm a people person. I'm an introverted extrovert. With that, I love getting in spaces to where I can meet people and find out how we can be mutually beneficial to each other. Now, that conversation that could be a whole nother video. But I will say that I just love building relationships, because you never know who you'll meet, what you'll need, even if it's another loan officer or a broker or commercial lender. It could be on the lending side too. Like, I appreciate all of those relationships. I appreciate calls where I can call some of my LO friends, mortgage friends, and be like, hey, what's pricing looking like today for y'all? Is it crazy? Or you can just compare, because in many cases when the market changes, people will make you feel like you're crazy. Like, y'all rates is this. So imagine if I was just tunnel vision and I only knew what my company has to offer, and I didn't have relationships where I can peek over to the other side and be like, hey, what y'all looking like over there? Okay, so we in the same boat. We all struggling with the same rates. Pricing is crazy on this. Then now you can stand firm on what it is that you're offering to your clients, because it's an issue that's based on the market, not based off of the individual lender. That is what I like, building relationships. Number 6, I love to party. We like to party. I like networking events. If you're in the mortgage industry or in real estate, like, there's so many different opportunities for networking events. Now, I'm married with a child, so I can't go out all the time like I used to. But I know some people will be looking at me like, dang, Allison, you're always out and about. But the part of our business is we have to meet new people. We have to build new relationships. So if I was, let's say, in another field, I don't know, let's say customer service, or I don't know. I guess in beauty, you know, they have different networking events, maybe for beauty professionals, but it's just in real estate, there's so many networking events that you can go to. So if you're looking to connect with people, you just have to go. And yeah, networking events are plentiful in real estate and in the mortgage industry. Number 7, I put cheat code. I feel like doing mortgages is a cheat code, because you have access to all of this information, like I said earlier, and you can use it as a cheat code to help people. Not saying commit fraud or anything, but a lot of people really think that purchasing a home is difficult. It's not hard. Like, if you have the income, credit, assets, you can buy a house. So imagine with me doing mortgages, or I'll just use myself. With me doing mortgages, if I want to buy a house, I know how to buy a house. Like, I could literally just be like, okay, I want to buy a house. And I'm gonna buy a house because I know what I need to buy a house. I know how to get the loan approved. I know what I need. Like, I've even when it was time to refinance and rates were historically low, I was like, let me just give everything over there to one of my friends and I let her do my deal. But there's no guesswork, there's no nothing. It's a cheat code. If I want to buy an investment property and I have the assets, I know which program I want to use. I know which range the interest rates should be. And I am not that type of person that acts like they know everything when they're going through the process, because I can't do my own loans. Somebody else has to do them for me. But it's just the confidence in knowing what is needed, and then I can just trust the process. I would trust the process and let it go back, because nothing is really going to go wrong, right? Because I know it's needed. Same thing, my husband, I always tell him I'm a cheat code. This guy, he bought 4 properties in a year. Like, cheat code. Hello, I'm the cheat code. So as you're exposed to different things, you have the confidence in knowing what you need to get approved, and you'll just be like, if it's that easy, let me do it again, let me do it again, and let me do it again. So just being exposed to doing mortgages is a cheat code in my life. Number 8, this kind of ties into the cheat code, but I'm really the plug. I am not boosting myself up, but people really do tell me that, so I'm just gonna take it. Just because, imagine, if you're doing mortgages, you're going to networking events, you're exposed to all of these people, you have all these partner relationships that you're constantly building, you're really gonna be the plug. Like, people are gonna come to you and say, hey, do you know anybody who does this? Do you know anybody who does that? And you can actually give them a solid referral. I'm really the plug. Cheat code for myself and a plug for others. If my friends have questions about buying a house, or if my friends have just any concerns, they can come to me. Even if they're not using me, I still do have friends who will be like, can you look over this? Can you look over that? Now, would I love to be doing their loan? I would love to be doing every friend and every family member's loan, but just for whatever reason, it might not be me. But they know that they can come to me and be like, hey, Allison, what do you think about this? Can you look at this? And they know that I'm going to give them a straightforward answer. So that is something that I love. I love being the plug for my people. Number 9, seeing the happiness at closing. The mortgage process is usually stressful. Even if it's not stressful, people make it stressful because it's like, am I really going to close? A lot of people operate on, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed, can't sleep at night. So when they're actually at closing, especially men, some men, they won't smile throughout the whole process. But when they're at closing, that smile that they get is just like, it just make you want to cry. Like, I was at a closing, and this, I think she was a fiance or wife or whatever. She was like, I ain't seen you smile this much. Like, guys be smiling ear to ear, and the ones that, try to be cool, because it's just a really genuine happiness. Like, closing on a home is an accomplishment. When you are at the closing table and you're a part of that, it's like being a proud mom. Like, some people will see us, we taking pictures and we're like, trying to get all the angles, and then your clients at the end, they're like, send me all those pictures, send me all those pictures. Like, it's really a celebration. So I just love being a part of that whenever I can. It's just, I don't know, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Every time that I probably would give up in doing mortgages, when you think about all the people that you helped and all of the smiling faces that you've seen, it's like, how can I not want to be a part of that? It's how sentimental. But I do love that. I love seeing just the happiness on people's faces when they're signing, the jokes that they make at closing. It's just a good experience for everybody, regardless as to the experience. And if you're doing mortgages or you're doing real estate and you're in the thick of it and you know that, this loan is going to close. Like, we're going through some stuff right now, But I know you're going to be smiling, and people literally forget about everything at closing. How they was upset that you keep asking for documents, or the underwriter suspended their loan and had them stressed out, or they had to bring more money to closing than they thought, and they weren't happy with this or happy with that. Once they get those keys, it's just kind of like it all just goes away. I love that. Number 10, no maximum on earnings, right? Who doesn't love money? Like, wow, we wouldn't work for free. But I will say that it is good to know that, okay, if I decide to grind it out and close 10 loans this month, like, they can't be like, oh, we're just going to pay you for 5. Run me all my money, 4 and 5. Okay? 5, 10. So however many loans you close, you're going to get paid on those loans. So think about it. Other companies, they usually set it up to where, or other industries, there are tiers or there's maximums. Like, hey, the maximum that you can get is, 6,000, or let's say I work with companies where they have bronze, silver, gold packages and stuff like that. But when you're doing mortgages and you're 100% commission, run it up. It's all about how you produce. So that can make you go harder. And then sometimes, don't do this, but people do it. Let's say if you have a really good month and you like, you know what, I bust my butt these past 2 months. You could be like, okay, I'm about to coast. If I get a deal, I get a deal. If I don't, I don't. Don't be like that. But people will really, now I've seen people literally go on vacation. Like, they close a lot of deals and they're like, well, I'll see y'all in a month. But you can do that. That's the good thing. And it leads into my last one, number 11, the freedom. There is a meme online that says, I quit my 9 to 5, now I work 24/7. And it is really true, because as you all know, I have 2 phones. I use Microsoft Teams, so sometimes I'll be working on my computer. I have it on my iPhone and I have it on my phone. When I get calls, all 3 of them ring. That could be stressful. It's like, who is calling me on all 52 devices at one time? But you really do have to lock in, and it's addictive, because think of all of the 11 points that I've said. You will work a lot. You will become a workaholic, but you're doing something that you love. You have to find your work-life balance. But at the end of the day, if something is going on where I need to take care of me, or if I need to go pick up my son, or if I need to go do anything, I can do that. I can do that. There is freedom, and there's even more freedom if you are producing. So I usually like to be in a situation where nobody bother me, I don't bother them. That is how I like to run it. Meaning, people can look and see, okay, Allison's working, Allison's doing this. Like, they don't have to ask me questions, because there's no need to micromanage somebody. I mean, there's no need to micromanage anybody, really. But as long as it's fact-based, it's numbers. They can see how much credit you pull, or they can see how many loans are in your pipeline. They can see just all of these different things. So if I'm not giving the need that I need help, most of the time they're gonna be like, oh, she good over there on her island. And that's what I like. I like the freedom. Sometimes throughout these 11 years, I have always thought about, dang, should I get a job? Should I do, just anything? I don't know. I might want to build a spaceship. I might want to start a HR firm with this HR degree that's just sitting. It's not just sitting. You might just think that you want to do something else. Where else can you have this much freedom? Like, when I travel, I take my laptop, still working, but I'm able to travel. I don't have to say, hey, just wanted to let you know that I am traveling to Jamaica. Does Jamaica have Wi-Fi? Will I be able to help my clients? That's the biggest thing. So I do love the freedom. But those are the 11 things I love about doing mortgages for my 11 years. Can't believe I started, y'all. I started fresh out of college. Didn't know what I was doing. I have this video. I don't know if I can insert a clip, but I found like all of my, I had a drawer where Wells Fargo, they used to always give us these little certificates and stuff like that, and it was just a whole bunch of mortgage sales. And so I went through it and I made it a reel, but literally the date says 2011. I graduated college in 2011, so I've literally been doing this since I graduated. I didn't think it was something that I was gonna, stick with. I've done different things in between, in addition to, but it's just like I always just stuck with it. So that's pretty cool. And then after a while, I stopped chasing corporate, and instead, mortgage became my main boo. So if you're in a situation where you are trying to balance, or maybe you're working 2 jobs, and if you want to get the mortgage life as your main priority or your main income, just stick with it. Just stick with it. You have to build your pipeline. Right now, it's a pipeline thing. It's always going to be that. So once you see those checks start getting more than your whatever job you have, trust me, no one's gonna have to tell you, hey, it's time for me to leave, because you're gonna be like, you just asked me to clock out for a 30-minute lunch or an hour lunch, and I don't feel like working right now. You're gonna be like, you know what, I'm doing mortgages full time. So once you start feeling like that, just step out on faith. It has been 11 years and hopefully 11 more to go. I'm not gonna say it gets easier. It doesn't get easier. I'm sorry. Doesn't get easier. It does not get easier, but we're still here, and we're just gonna keep on kicking it, because at this point, what else am I gonna do? I feel like I'm always going to have some hand in mortgages, from whichever capacity, but it's just really good to acknowledge like the time that I put in, and I just look forward to celebrating on Friday. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much. And this is your Chic Mortgage Millennial. Have a great day.